Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and we're back with another Survivor Series themed video for you guys. This is going to be a bit of a fun episode. I'm joined by my very special co-host DK Danny, but yeah, since Survivor Series is around the corner, we've decided to do like a fantasy draft sort of thing. So we're going to create a fantasy Survivor Series card with the theme being Raw versus Smackdown now. Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown, two of WWE's most iconic shows, two of the longest episodic weekly shows of all time, really. Not even just about wrestling, but yeah, and especially around the Survivor Series pay-per-view, Raw versus Smackdown has been a very big storytelling device. So we thought, why not? Let's try a little fantasy wrestling draft video. It's going to be a fun episode, hopefully. But yeah, we're going to do Raw versus Smackdown. Danny, you looking forward to this?
Yeah, man, can't wait. I don't think we've done a wrestling draft on this channel, have we, before? So
Nah,
it'll be,
this is like our very first time. So
yeah.
yeah, if it does well, we'll do another one. But yeah, let's explain the rules then of the draft. Right, here we go. The Survivor Series Raw versus Smackdown draft rules. Now, both participants, so me and Danny, are going to be assigned a brand. We're going to do like a spin the wheel sort of thing. Number two, you can't pick the same wrestler even if you've got a different version of the wrestler, because obviously there's been so many iterations of wrestlers on Raw and Smackdown. It doesn't matter if someone picks a version, you cannot pick that a different version of that wrestler. Number three, picks should be based on their influence / importance to the brand. So you can't just pick guys for the sake of it. You're gonna have to explain why you're picking them and what significance they had to the brand you've been assigned. And four, based on our picks, we're going to create a 6-match Survivor Series card. So we've got 6 matches here. We're going to do a women's 5v5. We're going to do a men's IC title versus US title. We're going to do a men's tag team match. We're going to do a women's title match. We're going to do a men's main title match. And then our main event will be the men's 5v5. And remember, the theme is Raw versus Smackdown. So we're going to pick... we're gonna spin the wheel to see who gets Raw, who gets Smackdown, and once we've done that, we'll start picking our wrestlers, and together we're gonna create like a fantasy Survivor Series card. And yeah, it's up to you guys. You guys will be the judge of who had the best card, who had the best picks, who do you think would win. And yeah, before we start picking wrestlers for the matches, first thing we're going to do, right? First thing I think we're gonna do is we need a commentary team, right? We need a 2-man commentary team, and I'm going to pick one and Dan's going to pick one. But before we do that, let's see who gets Raw and who gets Smackdown.
Okay. Can you see here?
Yeah. I mean, they're already in colours, but is what it is. We get to pick still. Of course.
I'll just keep the colour I have, and I'll go with SmackDown.
Well, Smackdown. I can't lie. Growing up, I was always a Smackdown kind of guy, but is what it is. I guess I'm Monday Night Raw then, so there you go. Representing Raw will be me, myself, and representing Smackdown will be DK, Danny. Shall we spin the wheel then to see who gets to pick it doesn't really matter with commentators, to be honest. I'll let you pick first, Danny.
I'll let you pick first because I won the wheel. You can pick.
Okay, for me, it's got to be the greatest commentator of all time. He's been a stalwart of he was a stalwart of the Monday Night Raw team. It's got to be good old JR, Jim Ross.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Taz. I think Taz and JR on commentary together will be unreal.
Yeah, I mean Taz was a good SmackDown commentator as well, so makes sense. But well, so the tag titles and the women's titles are pretty self-explanatory. Raw and SmackDown have their own like set of belts, but before we get into the matches, then let's pick our titles. Then there's the mid-card titles, the Intercontinental and the US title up for grabs, and then there's the main men's titles, the World Heavyweight title and the WWE title. Shall we do that now, or should we do that when we come to the match? I think we should do that when we come to the match.
Yeah, we'll do that when we are after that much.
Okay, right. So back to spinning the wheel then. Who's going to get the first pick for the women's 5v5?
Okay.
Oh, hey, it's me. Listen, Raw, Monday Night Raw has had a lot of great women over the years. It's a sticky one because we've got obviously we've got the women's title
The World
match as
Cup,
well,
yeah.
so you got to save some for that. So I'm gonna be strategic with my pick here. I'm gonna go with someone. You know what? I'm gonna go with someone that's quite recent in the Monday Night history of Monday Night Raw. She essentially was the leader of the Judgment Day when she was a part of it. She's one of the hottest rising stars in the WWE today. Like, as popular as some of the male wrestlers today. I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley for my first pick.
Yeah, that's a great pick, man. I mean, I would have picked her if she was on Raw, on SmackDown at all, but I don't think she's been on SmackDown ever. So yeah, exactly. I can't pick her. Okay, my first pick. Hmm. Who do I go with? I've got a few, but I want to, like you said, I want to save the big ones for. I've got one big one who I want to save for the world title. So I'll go with. This isn't quite recent, but I'll go with. I'll go with Bianca in 2021, where she had that main event against Sasha Banks, beat her, and had a great reign with the title. Again, I thought she was a great special babyface. And I think this was the first time since she was called up from NXT because she got called up during COVID. I think it was in 2020. And this was the first time she, really proved that she belonged in the main event scene. So I'll take Bianca.
It's a good pick. I mean, they're basically two of the, I'd say, the best women's wrestlers today as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Easily the biggest stars. Good pick though, Danny. Good pick. Okay, the second. Are we gonna do a spin now? We'll just
Yeah.
keep at this, innit? Okay, cool. Now the second member of the women's 5v5 team Raw is going to be drum roll, Mickie James. Now I feel like she's always been quite underrated, and she was a big part of Monday Night Raw, especially when she was the women's champion. I remember when she first burst on the scene, she had that a rather controversial feud with Trish Stratus. WWE had to edit out of WrestleMania 22, I think, but that was funny. But listen, Mickie James, I think she was a great talker, she was a great worker, and yeah, I think she was a big part of Monday Night Raw back in the day. I'll have her on my team.
Go pick. Okay. I think this is a great pick. I think this was the first time she turned heel since she joined the main roster. I think she joined in 2016, and she had this amazing baby face, or I think she was one of the best baby faces you could ask for at that time. And then she came on the main roster, clicked as it should have in the main roster, and then she turned heel in 2019. I'll go with Bailey. This was her role model gimmick when she cut her ponytail, turned heel, first time she actually invented a character in a like top tier way. And then I think personally she had one of the best SmackDown reigns in women's history. So I'll take Bailey.
It's a good pick, bro. Good pick. Was this what 2023 when she was on SmackDown, or when she turned?
2019, I think the year where the company went
Oh,
up.
that's when she cut. I remember she was with Sasha, no?
Yeah, and she came out with all those hookers and
Oh, yeah,
those
she
long
cut
things,
them.
and then she come all down. That was amazing.
All right, cool. My next pick. Now, there's two like bait ones in it from Monday Night Raw, two absolute legends, but I need to save one of them for the title match, so I've got that in mind. So I'm trying to think. But you know what? Okay, fuck it, I'll go for it. I know she's not the most popular right now in the fan base, but for me, out of the four horsewomen, she's the greatest. I'm gonna go with Ric Flair's baby girl, Charlotte, and she's actually gonna be my team captain as well.
Yes. Listen, I think you think she's not been great. I think she's had a good 2025. Especially with her stuff with Alexa Bliss. I think it's been great.
Yeah, I think.
Again,
Listen, Charlotte, she's got the most women's reigns, right?
yeah, by four things. Like
Yeah,
14, I think it is. 14
I
or
think
13.
she's a great. I think she's a great worker as well. Just so athletic. I think she was a big part of Monday Night Raw. She's how many Raw women's titles? I forgot how many she has. She has loads though.
Probably about 8 or 9, definitely.
Yeah, so I think she's a great pick to be captain as well. Naturally, she's a natural born leader as well. Charlotte is.
There was that period, I think, in 2016 where her and Sasha just hot potato the title every week or every other week. I mean, you never see that anymore. But yeah, they did that back then. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with Billy's partner during that time. Known as Mercedes Monet right now, but I mean Sasha Banks back in the day. I think I'll take a 2020 version. I think she carried the pandemic with the Bailey. I thought them together was amazing. Had like I think this was her strongest year, probably bar her NXT year with Bailey. And again, she's an amazing wrestler. She probably ranks third in my four horsewomen. I'd say it's a shame it didn't work out for WWE because again, if she was in the company right now, she'd like, definitely be one of the best wrestlers and probably one of the top stars for the women. So I'll take Sasha.
Good pick. I've got some solid teams so far.
Mhm.
You haven't picked your captain yet, have you?
Who do I give? I'll start at the end.
Nah, cool. Okay, the next pick for the women's 5v5 Raw team. This is gonna be an interesting one. You know what? I'm gonna go for everyone's favorite girl with mental problems. AJ Lee. She was a huge deal, a part
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Monday Night Raw brand around 2012, 2013 times. She was just great. She was box office. She became really, really popular and really, really over with the crowd. She's a good worker. She's great on the mic. I remember her pipe bomb as well. She had a very good pipe bomb. But yeah, I think AJ Lee is. You need a bit of a wild card, a crazy person in the team, and that's my pick.
Good pick. Good pick. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with her. I think in 2018 is when she came over from NXT. She had this undefeated streak from NXT. I kind of didn't like the way they booked her on SmackDown. Okay, on the main roster, she was always gonna have problems, especially with Vince booking her. She had really strong matches, even though her booking was like really inconsistent. I remember her beating Becky Lynch at the Rumble in 2019. She had a good feud with Charlotte, which Charlotte did win. Which I think she should have won. I'm going with Asuka.
Some of these you could put them on either team as well.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. Now this one I'm debating. Yeah, I've got two legends here that I want to pick, but it's about who goes in the 5v5 and who am I saving for the actual title
Yeah.
match. But with this one, I'm gonna go for I think one of the best women's wrestlers of all time, especially for her time as well. I remember her and another legend I'm going to mention later had one of the best women's rivalries of all time. They famously main evented a Monday Night Raw as well in I think it was 04 or 05, which was unheard of at the time. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna go for someone. I love her entrance theme. I love her look. I love her wrestling style. She's been a big part of WWE storylines with the Hardy Boys, with Edge. I'm gonna go with Lita.
Great pick. Okay, my last one. I think I've done lots of women from today's era, today's gen, so I'll take it back. I'll take it back around 10 years and I'll go with Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool. I think in 2008, around this time, it was probably, she was breaking out again. I think she was the first ever Divas champion, if I remember correctly. Her in ring work was like miles above the rest of the women. Like since Lita and Trish, had really seen someone like Michelle. And again, this I think started her rise as SmackDown's, top female wrestler. I remember the stuff with her and Layla around that period. It was something. But again, I think they formed Lay Cool in 2009, if I remember correctly. But again, I think she had a really good run. And out of all the women from SmackDown back in the day, I think she's probably the best pick.
So the pick. Can you just put it on the screen? I think it's on.
How's it going off?
Yeah, but yeah, Michelle McCool, you know what? People give her a lot of flack. Yeah, they say, oh, she's only got to where she is because she's Taker's wife, which there might be an element of truth to it. But I actually think she was a good worker. She was good on the mic. The Lay Cool gimmick was actually really entertaining. Weren't they like sharing the belt or something? It was like cut in
Yeah.
half. That was actually kind of funny. But yeah, I mean that's a solid 5v5 right there. I think my team wins though. I'm not gonna lie. I think my team's stronger.
I think my team has better wrestlers. I think your team have the better
Debatable.
characters, but I think my team has the better wrestlers.
I don't know. It's debatable, you know. My team are not scrubs, bro. They can wrestle, bro. Lita, AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte. Maybe out of all of them, maybe the weakest one is Mickey James, but she
Yeah.
can go as well.
Listen, both strong teams.
Yeah, but let's move on then swiftly to the men's mid card title match. Now we're gonna spin the wheel here, and first thing we're gonna do is pick which title we want: the Intercontinental title or the US title. Yep, time to spin the wheel.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, okay. Which one do I go for? Trying to think of all the good reigns around that time and which one had the better reign. You know what? I'll go I'll go with the United States Championship.
Fair enough.
I'll take the
So Danny's taking the US title. That leaves me with the IC title.
shall we spin who gets the first pick as well?
You can take it. To be fair, we'll just say you get the first pick.
Alright. US champions on SmackDown. Alright. I've got two in my head. Maybe three actually. That's Eddie Guerrero,
Yeah,
MVP, and a really, really recent one, Sami Zayn. And between them three, if I just went off the basis of just who had the better reign, I think it's Sami Zayn by a mile. I think him having them 10, 11 matches during that period was probably better than MVP's heel run. And but Eddie Guerrero's was really fun too. I remember he had a few matches with John Cena. He had that 4-way at SummerSlam. He had the match with Tajiri. I think he beat Benoit. I think it was Avengers 2003 to win the belt. This is a tough one.
can't lie though. Eddie, you could probably save him for something
Yeah,
else.
true. Yeah, I'll take Sami Zayn.
I shouldn't have helped you there, but you're going for 2025 Sami Zayn, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough. You know what? I'm actually glad you went for the US title because for me, Raw is more synonymous with the IC belt, and there's been loads of good intercontinental champions. Me personally, the white, you know, the retro one, the white belt, is my favorite ever IC belt design. But it's been a lot of good IC champions, man. But you know what? I'm gonna go for arguably the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. I think he's the record holder as well. He's got 9 intercontinental titles, which is crazy to think about. This guy was a big part of Monday Night Raw during the Ruthless Aggression era, especially even when he debuted Raw as Raw. I'm going for the Ayatollah of rock and roller, the Y2J, Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn. I mean,
That would be a great match.
both proms would be a fantastic match. Okay, next, men's tag team.
Right, who's gonna get this? Will be a hard one, you know. There's been some amazing tag teams on both brands.
Okay. I don't know why he keeps going off. Do we need to spin the wheel for this?
Yeah. See who gets the first pick.
Yes.
Tag team, but it's the same thing, really. To be honest.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, my tag team. SmackDown's had some really good tag teams, like over the years, especially since that SmackDown was a thing. I mean, the recent ones I can think of the Usos, the New Days come in mind.
And bear in mind, by the way, bear in mind, if you pick a tag team, remember they can't be used.
Oh yeah, it can be used later on too. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I've got my tag team. They went together for the longest period. I think, I think they were together for a year. And their classic, I think, was No Mercy. Was one of my favorite, probably my favorite tag match of all time. I'm going with Edge and Rey Mysterio.
Ah, they were a great tag team though.
The chemistry together was unreal, bro. I still remember that.
But I would say you've kind of screwed up because I reckon Edge is someone you could even put in the main
Yeah,
event.
I was thinking about that, but I said I had to take the risky with my tag team and give these both because their chemistry together was unreal, bro. Like the match, No Mercy is still probably my favorite tag match of all time.
Yeah, bro, was that the one against Benoit and Angle?
Angle,
They
yeah,
were
yeah,
they
unreal
were
match, bro.
good tag team as well. Fucking hell. Now this is interesting, yeah, because I was along the same line. I was thinking Edge and Christian, but you've picked Edge now, so I can't use him. But Loki might be a blessing in disguise. Raw's had some good tag teams as well, man. Raw's had some good ones. Just looking at this list I've made of tag teams. I'm trying to think, man. I'm trying to think. You know what? This one might be a bit left field considering all the great tag teams, but I genuinely really enjoy it. This is more of a modern tag team title, and I remember they ended the New Day's historic reign. I'm going Cesaro and Sheamus, the Bar.
Oh, unreal option. I'll shut the ball be easier.
Yeah, the Bar were a great tag team. They were so fun. Like both of them had this aggressive, brute styles, and it just worked so well. And I think they originally start off as like a feud, like
They
Cesaro.
had a best of seven, and
Yeah, I remember they had like a best of seven.
every match was unreal. I think late 2016 they basically carried Raw, had so many good matches, and then they just formed a tag team. And then I remember, do you remember how they won the titles?
They ended the New Days.
End of the New Days, but do you remember that sequence where I think Sheamus and Cesaro tagged in accidentally?
Oh yeah, he fell on him and rolled him and
He
pinned him.
rolled him up. That's literally an unreal finish. But yeah, man, that's a great pick. Both from two great wrestlers, and as a tag team, I think they're even better.
I think this will be a banging match as well. The
Bar
styles, the
and Ray.
styles we have here. Wow, the
Yeah.
Bar versus Edge and Ray. Great. That's a great match right there. Yeah. Let's move on then to. Is it the women's world title?
Women's world title, yeah. Okay, let's spin the wheel for this. I really hope I get first pick. Come on. Oh no.
Yes, finally I get a first pick. But wow. For me, yeah, it's a straightforward one. It's an easy one. I'm a bit of a nostalgia merchant, but I'm gonna go for arguably the greatest of all time, the most recognizable, the most iconic. She was probably a poster in a lot of teenage boys' rooms back in the day. She's a 7-time women's champion, just a legend of the game, and just an absolute Ferrari of a woman. I mean, she still got it even to this day. I'm going with "It's Time to Rock and Roll." One of my favorite themes. It's a guilty pleasure. Trish
Yeah.
Stratus.
Yeah, man. Great pick. Okay. I'm glad you take my pick.
I
So,
put mine in red. I'm main evented a Raw, which come on, at the time was it 0405? That's just unheard of.
yeah.
Testament to how popular they both were.
Mine is she turned heel, I think, in 2018, right? I think at SummerSlam on Charlotte. And I think this was a turning point for. I know they did have the women's revolution early on, but turning this woman heel made her the biggest star. The crowd, even though she was a heel, the crowd wanted to cheer her. There's that one pic of her fully bloodied up, I think, on the road to Survivor Series. Incredible mark work. The fans loved her. Her wrestling ability is top notch. I'm going for Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, I think. Do you remember her first character copy when she came on SmackDown? I think in 2016. This I don't know what the Irish
Yeah,
last something like
shit.
that. It was such a corny gimmick, yeah. And I'm so glad when she turned heel, she got this whole new demeanor about her. And then since then, she's just gone places and places. And I mean, till this day, she's probably one of the biggest stars, you know, for the women in wrestling. So I'll take Becky Lynch.
I mean, I remember, wasn't it Survive? Was it? It was Survivor Series though when was it Nia Jax broke her nose and it was like an iconic shot.
Yeah, I think it was 2018, yeah, 2018. And then that was, yeah, that picture of her bloodied up is unreal. And I think that year, especially, did actually catapult her like into actor stardom. So yeah,
I remember she was so big. She obviously got to main event WrestleMania 35 the first time women have main evented her. She had promos with The Rock and Stone Cold as well. I remember she was so popular in like
yeah. I
that.
remember on the debut of a SmackDown on Fox, her and Rock had a promo. Her and Cena even had a promo. I remember in COVID, her and Austin had a promo. So yeah, man, she can talk on the mic, unreal on the mic. She can wrestle. Everything about Becky Lynch is amazing. And if you ask me, she's the greatest woman of all time.
Yeah, that's. I think Charlotte is still the best out of the four horsewomen, but Becky Lynch is up there. I won't argue with that. But either way, prime Trish Stratus versus prime Becky Lynch, great match right there.
Now on
Um,
to the real fun stuff. I'm looking forward to this.
the men's world title. Okay, we're gonna whoever gets the first pick here is gonna pick the title as well. So let's
Okay.
spin the wheel. Oh,
Oh my days, that was so close.
just about right. Just about. You know what? This is actually really hard because obviously Raw's had both the WWE and the World Heavyweight
Yeah.
Championship. And there's been some great champions. So I'm trying to think here really hard. Got a list of loads of names. There's been some great champions, man. But then I'm trying to bear in mind as well. I've got the men's 5v5 as well. So
Yeah.
it's fun. This is kind of fun. Who am I gonna put? Got some great names here, bro. But you know what? I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna pick the WWE Championship, and the champion I'm going to pick is Mr. 17 times, the one and only John Cena. It has to be. It has to be. I think he's the most logical option to pick for a champion. But you know, John Cena. There's been so many versions of Monday Night Raw John Cena that I could pick. I could pick his initial run when he got drafted over. Was it from 05 to 07? That stretch, he has some of his match catalog in those years. He had great matches with Jericho, Christian, Edge. He had great matches with Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Just so Umar, I remember his Royal Rumble match with Umaga. There's that version of Cena I could go for. There's obviously PG era Super Cena, like bruv. When he gets the shovel out, no one's beating Super Cena. I'm fused with like guys like Randy Orton, Batista. Yeah, John Cena on Raw was at his peak. He was unstoppable, bro. He was the guy. Him with the WWE Championship was a match made in heaven. He's the record holder of titles. He's a Grand Slam champion as well now. But yeah, I think in Raw's history, John Cena has to be there. He carried the Raw franchise on his back from when he got drafted over in 05. When did he get drafted to SmackDown? Was it 2016?
Yeah, during the draft.
So like, yeah, for a good 11 years, this guy was the face of Monday Night Raw. And yeah, John Cena, WWE champion. When he hits you with that fine speech promo, you know you're done, bro. You know you're done. Yeah, John Cena, that's my pick for the men's world title match, Raw versus SmackDown.
Don't forget that night where he got drafted to SmackDown and then back to Raw.
Oh, I remember I was so pissed off because I was genuinely excited at him, the thought of him on SmackDown, and they fucking drafting him back. But yeah,
All right, SmackDown's a tough one, man, because they've had so many amazing champions and like wrestlers who have dominated, their periods of SmackDown, and I want to include some of them in the 5v5. So I'll just go safe here, and again, probably the longest world title reign we've had in a long time. Since probably the 1990s and the 1980s. He went on what a 2 3 year legendary streak, turned heel where it was really needed, became like the final boss of the company, this major store, probably the biggest store in wrestling. And I don't think this would have done if they never turned him heel in 2020. After COVID, and again, he's had so many good matches. The match to end his reign was fantastic, and I'm going with the tribal chief Roman Reigns.
that's a great pick. That's a great pick. But you know what? Is a banging match. So if we're taking Prime Super Cena versus Tribal Chief Bloodline Roman Reigns, yeah, for the belt, like who the fuck is losing? Do you know what I mean? This is a great match, man. Two guys that it's impossible to beat. Yeah, what a match. Prime Super Cena versus Tribal Chief Bloodline Roman Reigns for Raw versus SmackDown. I mean, I mentioned John Cena being the face of Raw for like a good 11 years. Don't forget Roman Reigns, man. When he moved over to Raw SmackDown in 2019, I believe.
Yeah, it was during some, I think, superstar shakeup, some stupid thing like that. And again, the first year didn't really click. I remember he had that feud with heel Daniel Bryan when someone. Do you remember the backstage segment where something fell on him, and they were trying to figure out for weeks who he was? And I think Eric Rowan was the one who came out with it. His 2019 run or SmackDown was so stupid. I
Did he
remember
have the dog food
I
match?
was gonna say the dog stuff with Dolph and Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode. All of that was so stupid. And then apparently he was close to quitting, because he didn't like his booking. And then COVID came because he was meant to face Goldberg, I think, for the world
Yeah,
champion. He was probably gonna be Goldberg, was like definitely. And then of course they gave that to your Braun Strowman. And he left for what I think it was 3 4 months. Came back in August, the end of August, I think it was, and he returned at SummerSlam. And after that, I mean, what a 4 5 years he's had, man. Like, he's not there anymore. I don't think he needs to be there anymore. He's earned his right. He when the company was in a bad state, they were sinking, especially after the horrid 2019 he kind of picked him up. He got the merchandise back, the ticket sales back. Like he is, I think, like he just period. No matter what else we're talking, one of the biggest stars in wrestling.
I won't argue with that. Tribal Chief, it's arguably one of the greatest title reigns, if not the greatest. But I think John Cena has John Cena. If there's anyone that can stop that for unstoppable that immovable object, it's got to be fucking Super Cena, bro. Super Cena was built different. The guy fucking torn his bicep or tricep and came back within what was it 6 months?
Crazy, yeah.
Even less. It was less than that actually.
So,
3 or 4 months.
is that when he actually dropped the title because he got injured?
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
gave
and
it to
then
Orton, and then he came back at the '08
in
Rumble. Yeah.
2008, yeah.
Bro, Super Cena, fucking suit. He's like Superman, bro. He's like the ultimate good guy, ultimate babyface. You know, he'll own Roman Reigns on the mic again. He'll tell him learn how to do a promo, kid. Yeah, I think John Cena, prime John Cena. I'm giving him the edge of Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
On 12 5v5. This one I'm looking forward to.
This one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be good. This is where we bring out the big guns.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's spin the wheel then. See who gets the first pick.
Okay. Oh,
I get the pick again.
if you wanted a first pick, yeah, it was gonna be for this.
Yeah. Oh, let me just check my list of names. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one, but it's hard. It's hard.
It
There's
is,
so
yeah.
many sick picks. But you know what? I'm gonna go for someone that was a huge part of Monday Night Raw. In the Attitude Era, especially with DX, and then even the Ruthless Aggression with Evolution. This guy, I'm gonna make him captain as well. this guy will do anything to win. I think he's a good. He knows how to like get people to work for him and do a job for him. You know, you saw him mold Randy Orton and Batista into stars. For me, I'm gonna go for Prime, Reign of Terror, Evolution, whatever era, even DX. You could. I'm gonna go for Evolution, Reign of Terror, Triple H as my team captain for Monday Night Raw. I think that's a great pick.
Real big one. Okay, my pick on SmackDown. I've got two in mind, but to be my first choice. Let me think about this.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I've got a few in my head. Okay, I'm gonna settle this guy. I think you could take him on Raw, but I don't know if you would. 2003, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that's a great pick.
2003, Brock Lesnar had everything. He had the perfect blend of his raw power, his athleticism, how fast and explosive he was. He was a freak athlete, man. The shooting star press he hit at 25 years old, yeah, unreal. Again, the feud with Kurt Angle, sensational. The match at Mania for the title, the 60-man Iron Man match. He won the WWE Championship after, I don't know how far after his debut when he boy, he was quick. And again, he was one of the greatest TV matches in the Iron Man match. And SmackDown this year was amazing. So yeah, man, if I'm gonna have someone, come out for my team, it's gonna be Brock Lesnar, all three.
That's a sick pick, man. That's a sick pick. Arguably the greatest rookie year in wrestling as
Yeah.
well, Brock Lesnar. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because I'm trying to think of Monday Night Raw as well. There's
Yeah.
loads of guys here that I could say, but you know what? I probably should have picked him first, but this is a guy that was essential to Monday Night Raw during the Monday Night Wars. Yeah, he was a big reason for the success of the. He is probably the biggest reason for the success of the Attitude Era, and biggest reason for the success of Raw against WCW. You can't when you talk about Monday Night Raw, you can't not talk about this guy. He made Monday Night Raw must see television every week to see what he's going to do. His iconic rivalry with Vince McMahon and The Rock and Triple H, guys like that. Every time this guy showed up, every time this guy's entrance theme hit, the fucking arena started to shake. Like he was that on that level of stardom. It's got to be the Texas rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, man. Again, after Triple H, that is probably the best pick you can have. Probably the best babyface the company's ever had.
I don't even class him as a proper babyface. He's just like an anti-hero, bro. He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I think he was the kind of guy that the crowd would love no matter what. Like Punk later on in his career as well. It was impossible for anyone to hate him. But Triple H and Stone Cold as your first two picks, or
You know what's funny about my first two picks as well? They were a fucking deadly duo as well. I remember
yeah,
before
tag
Triple
team
H's
titles.
injury, the 2-man power trip, they were sick. They were sick.
Okay, man. Listen, if you're gonna have to combat Triple H and Stone Cold, I think there's only one way to combat this.
Oh, you gonna don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro. Don't pick my goat. Don't pick my goat.
Listen, I'm gonna have to take. Copy knows what I'm gonna say. The Rock, bro. Before anyone else can claim SmackDown as their brand, I think it has to be The Rock. I mean, the show is literally named after one of his catchphrases. And again, when SmackDown debuted, he was their main star. His promos with Triple H, Mankind, the McMahons, his rivalry with Triple H carried SmackDown through, the first year. And then, of course, his peak was, the People's Champion. Basically, for the whole time, until he basically left, SmackDown was his show. And I think he's really important to SmackDown. He basically established this as, the entertainment and wrestling. I think he gave it a great balance. I think he helped launch a lot of careers. Guys like Angle, Jericho, especially Triple H, another one, Booker T. I think the best talker in SmackDown's history. He's probably one of the, period in wrestling is one of the best talkers, but especially in SmackDown, I don't think anyone can, just deal with him on the mic. And again, he's had a lot of good moments on SmackDown. He should have really been my first pick, but I think you went. I mean, you could have easily taken him over Triple H or Stone Cold, especially you being a massive Rock fan.
Yeah, it's a bit of a howler for me. But you know what it is, man? The Rock. I was thinking you weren't gonna pick him. I don't know why. I was a bit careless there. I thought I can. The Rock would be. I was trying to set up for dramatic. The Rock as my last pick. As my, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned The Rock, bro. That's crazy. How can you create a name for a show, your second show, based off one of your catchphrases? That's the level of stardom, the level of pull this guy had.
Exactly.
Even a video game's named after him, Smackdown, shut your mouth. Do you know what I mean? When he used to cut that promo, I'm gonna lay the Smackdown on you. I'll make sure you check into the Smackdown hotel. The Rock, so many iterations, especially Hollywood. Remember Hollywood Rock on Smackdown was nuts. I remember that promo he cut with was it from the Titantron with Hulk Hogan? That was hilarious. Yeah, man. You can't talk about SmackDown without The Rock. He was influential for SmackDown and its history. Great pick, Danny. Great pick. And you know what? Because you said that, yeah, I'm gonna be really petty here. I'm gonna be petty because you pick my goat. I'm gonna pick your goat. I'm gonna pick Monday Night Rollins, Mr. Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins has been, especially in the last 10 years or so, he's been a mainstay of Monday Night Raw. I think he's had a stint on SmackDown, but I associate him mostly with Raw. Obviously when he was a part of the Shield, and then obviously when he split from the Shield, joined the Authority. That's still my favorite version of Seth, that 2015 WWE title run, and 2014 to 2015 Seth run up until his injury. Still my favorite version of Seth. And you know what about, he had that, obviously, that monster babyface run as well, the Beast Slayer gimmick, when he just the way he beat Brock at Mania 35 still stands out to me. It was the opening match of the show, but it was done so well. Tyrion wasn't so great, but hey, it is what it is. And then, you know what's an underrated version of Seth? I think during the pandemic, when he was a heel and he had the Monday Night Messiah gimmick with his disciples, I think he had AOP and Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory as well for a bit. I thought that gimmick was amazing. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I kind of wish he kept it, because I remember after that he transitioned into a Joker, kind of like a goofy role, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Haven't been. But Monday Night Raw, you can't mention him without Seth. I think recently as well, he was the first, when they brought the World Heavyweight title back, he won and he carried that title and the brand on his back. He was like the workhorse champion. He was putting on classics every week. He even got a good match out of Jinder Mahal, for fuck's sake. Yeah, man, Seth freaking Rollins of men's 5v5 Raw versus SmackDown all-time thing. Yeah, I think he definitely has an argument to make it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, especially over the last 10 years. I think if you had to associate a name with Raw over the last 10 years, I don't think you can associate anyone with Raw other than Seth Rollins. Like you said, since his debut with the Shield, he's been on Raw, and then when they broke up the Authority until he got injured, I thought he was a great champion, getting some good matches out of no one's. And then he got injured, came back, and I like the version of Seth. Not a full babyface, not a full heel, and then of course, Triple H turning on him with Kevin Owens is still one of my favorite Raw moments of all time. It was a sensation moment that then transcended him into a full babyface, and then again the host of the show every week he'd be on there putting on great matches. And like you said, that Beast Slayer gimmick I really liked because it was the opening match of the show and they needed to, steal the show. And I think it is probably, still one of the best matches on that card. And then the following SummerSlam, people weren't really into Seth at the time because, booking kind of killed him with his title reign, but he got the crowd invested in that SummerSlam match with Brock Lesnar. And like you said, his recent title reign, not this one, the one before this, where he became the first inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. I think he did a great job at making that title feel relevant. And to be honest, I still don't think we had a better champ than that version of Seth with that title. And I can't agree with you. This visionary gimmick isn't his best gimmick, in my opinion. I know I know what they're trying to do with the gimmick. Like he's trying to hide all his pain behind his gimmick being this kind of Joker character. But in my opinion, like you said, the Messiah gimmick was an underrated gimmick, man. It's a shame COVID happened at the time and guys like AOP did get released because, you know, he would have made that gimmick literally sensational. And yeah, man, I like you were talking about Seth being on SmackDown. I think he's been on SmackDown for probably less than a year since his debut in the main roster. Like I genuinely can't think of him being. I think it was that period in 2021 where he had a match with Cesaro at WrestleMania. I think it was. That was the only period he was on SmackDown and then back on Raw, and he's still on Raw to this day. So yeah, man, if I had to associate someone with Raw over the last 10 years, it would most definitely be Seth Rollins. And yeah, I don't want to start waffling about him because we'd be here all day. So, but on my third pick, mm, alright, I'm gonna take. Got two options here, but I don't know if you'd pick the other one. All right, I'm gonna pick. I think this is SmackDown's franchise star after The Rock left. He was the anchor of the brand, the face, the leader, the constant main eventer, his amazing feud with Batista in '07, his classic with Angle in '06, the return in 2005 when he destroyed Orton, which we spoke about in a pod when we did Survivor Series best moments. Just like a great wrestler, a great promo, one of the best gimmicks in wrestling. I think Corpy knows who I'm gonna pick. The Dead Man, Undertaker.
Great pick. I mean, we mentioned The Rock being a big part of SmackDown, but Undertaker's another guy, bro. He was majority on SmackDown for his career. Wow, on some of the matches he had on SmackDown as the Dead Man gimmick, just amazing. Great pick. That's a great pick, Danny. I'll be surprised if you don't make him your captain as well.
Oh yeah, he's definitely my captain.
God, you got a great team here, Danny. I've got a great team as well, to be fair, but I can't lie. The Rock one still stings, man. It still stings. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at my team now. Yeah, there's so many I could pick. I'm just, there's so many names here that I'm not gonna make it, and I'm thinking, wow, that's criminal. But
Well, I've got like 15 here, and I'm still debating which two I should put here.
bro, we're probably gonna get cooked as well by people. But one thing I'm noticing in my team, I'm kind of worried about. If I'm thinking from a logical standpoint, you got two absolute brutes in Taker and Brock, especially Brock, and there's a bit of a power imbalance in my team. I'm gonna need like a big guy. So this one might surprise people, but fuck it, I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna back my boy. This is a guy I think is very underrated, very underappreciated, and very he wasn't underutilized. He was used by WWE, but not in the main event scene enough for my liking. You mentioned the Undertaker. Let's keep it in Death Valley then. Let's go with the Undertaker's long lost brother, the second half of the Brothers of Destruction, the Big Red Machine, Kane. And now I'm talking. Not Mask Kane was amazing in Raw as well in the early years of the Ruthless Aggression. Like this guy was a behemoth. Prime Kane.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about Brock Lesnar stuff. Prime Kane has the greatest physique of any wrestler I have ever seen. That guy, bro, his arms were fucking like tree chunks. Yeah, Kane. I think he's a great pick. He's a guy that will come in and just fucking clear the ring. Do you know what I mean? He's that guy. I still remember his 2001 Royal Rumble performance. I think that's the greatest Rumble performance ever. In 2002, he was in a tag. I think he's been in some great tag teams. I think he's been in tag teams with Booker T, Goldust, Rob Van Dam. Thing about Kane, I love the guy in it. But for me, when Kane unmasked, oh my god, that was peak Kane. Unmasked Kane in like 03, 04. He went on an absolute tear. He was terrorizing everyone on the Monday Night Raw roster, bro. Nobody was safe. The poor guy set Jim Ross on fire. Like, come on, bro. What's JR done to anyone? I remember he had a feud with Shane McMahon. He fucking electrocuted him like by his balls. Like, it was hilarious. Kane was a menace. I remember him and Triple H had a feud as well. Like, everyone remembers that entrance, that Kane entrance when he comes out with the police guards and he's in the handcuffs. fucking hell, just absolute aura. Kane is a guy I've loved. I think he had the greatest debut of all time, ripping the cell door off his hinges and like taking out Taker. Just crazy, crazy. I think Kane for me, the fact that I think he's only held the WWE title once in his career, which is
That's mental.
absolutely mental. I think he's held the world title like twice. He's been good with the world title, but yeah, he's had some iconic feuds over the years with like the likes of like I think him and Undertaker is a very underrated rivalry, and they've had some great matches as well. WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 20. I remember even in 2010 when they ran that gimmick where who who attacked Undertaker and Kane tried to frame Rey Mysterio. It was so funny. Like, why would Rey Mysterio try to kill the Undertaker? And then it was revealed it was Kane. And then Taker and Kane had a good little rival, like little feud in 2010 as well. And you know what there is about Kane as well? This guy's so reliable. That guy was hardly ever injured. I remember he had one injury and he came back with the Rise Above that gimmick. But Kane was such a solid worker, such a reliable guy, absolute machine, great on the mic, great promo, comedic. He was very funny as well. He's been in team with Daniel Bryan, Team Hell No. Kane, I feel like Kane is one of the most underrated superstars of all time. He's in my top 10 personal favorites. I don't think that's mad to say. I think Kane, yeah, Kane is a great pick. Maybe people might be like, but nah. I think Kane on Monday Night Raw, Team Raw, perfect.
That's a great pick, man. I feel like he is one of the most underrated wrestlers in WWE history. Like people talk about Undertaker being so good, but Kane is right up there, especially in the early years. Like you said, when he almost his debut was sensational, and I feel like the company did underutilize him at times, especially during the late run of his career. But again, what a pick, man! Triple H, Stone Cold, Seth, and Kane.
So,
CARPE is reuniting the authority with Triple H, Seth, and Kane.
oh yeah, I just noticed, but
Okay, my fourth pick. Right. I have three in mind, and I'm gonna have to pick two of them. But I don't want to say the names in case you take the last pick there. But I'm gonna go with do yeah. I'm gonna go with one of, in my opinion, the best wrestler, best well technical wrestler of all time. He's had some of the best feuds on SmackDown with the guys like Benoit, Rey Mysterio. His build with Lesnar to Mania was amazing. The Iron Man match with Brock Lesnar was amazing. Kurt Angle.
great pick.
Of the SmackDown 6 era, I think from 2002 until 2004 or 5, I think it was. He had some amazing matches, man. Like, if you wanted to was someone on the show who can wrestle, it was Kurt Angle. His comedic timing was sensational. He could go a great promo, a great heel.
Kurt Angle, the Olympic machine. This guy was a fucking beast, bro. Absolute beast. I mean, he says it all the time. He won a Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking
Yeah.
neck. Kurt Angle, I love that guy. He's top 10 for me of all time, easily. Both his WWE run and his TNA run. I think he's an underrated figure of the Attitude Era as well. I think he was
Definitely.
like, I remember when he first debuted, like he was this like corny guy, babyface, all American hero, and the crowd was just like not liking it, but it worked out in his favor. He became like a heel, and Kurt Angle is very underrated comedically as well. Like he's very funny. Like his promo, he's had some of the best promos of all time. He's a great character. He's willing to do anything. Kurt Angle's a great pick, bro. Your team, your team here is intense. Rock, Kurt, Taker. Yeah, it's a great team. But my final pick. I'm kind of like annoyed with myself because I've got three people in mind, to be honest. But I need to just pick someone who I think's the best out of the three. I'm a bit annoyed. I'm trying to think if maybe the Seth Rollins decision was a bit of a hasty one. I was just trying to get back at you for taking the Rock. I think Seth's still a good pick. My fifth and final member then of Team Raw.
Who are your options? You can say them anyways. It's the fifth
Yeah, oh
member.
yeah. I mean, you're probably gonna take him.
Oh, yeah, actually, I could.
That's the thing. But fuck it, I'm gonna go for someone that was a huge figure of Monday Night Raw. And he's actually a great pick for 5v5 matches. This guy, his performances in 5v5 matches, yeah, go under the radar. But he used to always go right to the end. He was like an Iron Man sort of figure. I'm gonna go with the Heartbreak Kid, the greatest professional technical wrestler of all time, in my opinion, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, Monday Night Raw, you can't. That's another thing. HBK was a huge figure of Monday Night Raw. Even in his early days, his original run, and even in the Attitude Era when he was injured, he still popped up from now and then. I mean, D-Generation X, one of the greatest factions of all time. Um, Shawn Michaels was just that guy, bro. He was cocky. He was a cunt. Everyone hated him. He was that lovable prick. Not a lovable prick, but 90 Shawn Michaels was a nasty piece of work. Let's not get twisted. But he was box office. He carried the the game on his back. And then when he got injured and he came back to this like born again Christian babyface gimmick, he was fucking amazing. Arguably, how do you go 4 years with a career-ending back injury and then come back and somehow be better than your original run? It doesn't make sense. It defies all logic and sense. He did it. I mean, Shawn Michaels, he comes back and he has some amazing, amazing feuds. Now, Shawn Michaels is a guy everyone said, oh, he should have got more titles, but he was the one guy that proved he had that much sauce. He didn't need a title. You know what I mean? He used to have the
Yeah.
best match. He's known as the showstopper, the show stealer. Um, he's had some of the best WrestleMania. He's known as Mr. WrestleMania, rightfully so. He had iconic feuds and matches with the likes of Triple H when he came back, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, John Cena, even Hogan. I mean, that match was hilarious, but even Hogan, you can say as well. Shawn Michaels, man, fucking hell. I remember when he won the world title at Survivor Series in the O2 Chamber match. What a moment, just iconic. Yeah, I think Shawn Michaels has to be in here, man.
I mean, you got two of my goats on the same team in Sean and Seth. And in a 5-on-5 environment, listen, having Seth and HBK in that team with a brute monster like Kane and then Triple H and Stone Cold is one hell of a team, man. You know one guy, I'm not gonna pick him because I don't think you can really define him with SmackDown. I'm surprised he never picked CM Punk.
Yeah, that's one of the guys I was contemplating.
Oh yeah, especially that 2011 to 2013 CM Punk.
Yeah.
I would have 100% had him on my role list. Okay. The fifth one was between two guys, between Eddie Guerrero, who we mentioned earlier, and between this is a personal fave, AJ Styles. Is gonna be one of them two for me, right? And I'm gonna go with my heart here, and one of my personal favorites. I think one of the best wrestlers of all time, and it's a shame he's gonna retire really soon because he's unreal. AJ Styles.
Fair enough.
I was contemplating between him and Eddie Guerrero, but I wanted this one to
Not
be a bit
having Eddie is
personal.
insane. Not having Eddie is insane, though.
Yeah, I know he
I
is,
think
but
I think you missed the trick picking Sami Zayn. I think you should have picked Eddie then.
yeah, I should have picked him. He swear me to picking Sami Zayn because yeah, man. I mean, I had to go with someone more recent because I've got four names there, who were there before, and I wanted to go with AJ Styles here, and it is a personal favorite because he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. His run on SmackDown, the house that AJ Styles built, that feud with John Cena, that 3-4 month feud with Ambrose, then the feud again with John Cena where he lost the title at Rumble, had a match with Shane at Mania, which is criminally underrated. It's probably still AJ Styles' best Mania match. And again, throughout 2017, he was just a mainstay on SmackDown. I remember his feud with Kevin Owens over the United States title, and then he won the title back from Jinder because they didn't want Jinder facing Brock. He won that title, and then he went into a program with Shinsuke, which was pretty disappointing. I mean, we've spoken about that before. That free feud should have been much better than it was. It became stupid. He had that feud. He had a feud with Samoa Joe that year, and then he had a feud with Daniel Bryan where Daniel Bryan turned heel. He's just been a mainstay of SmackDown until I'd say 19, from 2016 to 2019. He had one hell of a run on SmackDown, man. Like one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like he came to the company in 2016, and later that year he was the mainstay on SmackDown. Like the best wrestler on that brand. So many amazing matches, so many amazing promos. He's a great as a babyface. He's even better as a heel, in my opinion. He's just unreal, man. And is more of a personal fave because I watched AJ Styles for basically the last 10 years, and I'm kind of disappointed how they used him over the last 5 years. You could have definitely used him, to to more of your advantage. But again, during his first few years in with the company, I was not expecting Vince, especially Vince. You know how petty he can be sometimes for pushing AJ Styles the way he did, beating Cena clean at SummerSlam. There's very few wrestlers, especially during that time, that can say I'll be Cena clean without no help and anything, and this guy did it. And again, man, just an amazing wrestler, one of the best of all time. And when he retires next year, it's going to be really sad. But yeah, man, I think AJ Styles had to make the list.
We've got, you know what? Our main event is fucking stacked. It is stacked. Uh, Another guy I was thinking of that I'm kind of sad I've left the list. We might get crucified. Is Randy Orton. I
Yeah.
was thinking the 09, 2010, like serial killer, psychopath, bold Orton gimmick. That was a man. He was a menace. I think he could have made it in the team, as you mentioned, CM Punk. To be honest, you said SmackDown Punk. I wouldn't have gone. Straight Edge Society could have
Yeah, he
made
could
it,
have. Yeah, he
but
definitely.
I don't think he was strong as the 2011 to 2014 CM Punk. I mean, yeah. But you know what? I think overall I've got a very solid team. I'm happy with it. I mean, if I'm going, my team captain is Triple H. By the way, if you want to add that,
Okay.
I think that's a good captain. To be honest,
Yeah. Like you, I had 2, 3 picks which I was unsure on, and they were. I mean, you took one of them with your RC title. I had late Jericho, 2008 to 2010 Jericho. I think is underrated. The one who comes in a suit, great
uh,
heel.
great.
He could have easily made his way on my list. Another one is Batista. I think Batista, during from 2006 to probably 2019, where he left to go to Raw, Batista was amazing, man. Like I think he's one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. He had amazing physique. His finisher was so good. The program with Rey Mysterio was amazing. Yeah, I could have easily had him, man. And another one or two I had was Jeff Hardy as well. I think especially when Jeff Hardy was really over from 2008 to 2009. Like he was probably the most over babyface at that time. So he's another wrestler who I could have easily, put on here. But I feel like I'm happy with my list, man. Like Brock, Rock, Taker, Angle and Styles is one hell of a team.
Yeah, you mentioned Jeff. I'm trying to fit for tag team the Hardy. We didn't pick the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, we could have picked the Hardy Boys, but
That
I'm,
one,
I'm
that
happy
one
with Edge and
completely
Ray.
slipped my mind. That would have been a great pick.
Yeah,
But I'm happy with. Let's go through each match then. Before we wrap up. The women's 5v5. I've gone for Rhea Ripley, Mickey James, Charlotte, my team captain, AJ Lee, and Leah. I think my team's stronger than your women's team. I don't know if you agree.
yeah. I mean, I can agree with that. I think the women from yours that I would take is probably Rhea and I'd say Charlotte or Lita. I'd say Mickey James is definitely the weakest on your team. But I mean, though the four Rhea, Charlotte, AJ Lee, and Lita, that's one hell of a team. Then we
And
got mine, who's Bianca,
you should
Bailey.
have picked Eddie here, man. You should have picked.
I know, man. I mean, I'm happy with Sami Zayn because again, I think he's a great baby face. I think his reign did, basically reignite the United States Championship. But I should have picked Eddie, man. Really.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about SmackDown. Like Eddie Guerrero was a huge part of SmackDown
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
year. But I think I'm gonna win. I think I win here as well. To be honest, Chris Jericho was Monday night, especially ruthless aggression. Jericho, I remember when he had the twisted beard, like ponytail thing, that was amazing. Yeah, Jericho, what a legend. Can't wait to see him back in WWE next year. Greatest IC champion ever. I think I win that as well. To be honest, match two.
Yeah, I mean, I think pound for pound, Jericho is better than Sami Zayn, but as wrestlers, I'd say Sami Zayn is arguably better.
Debatable, debatable.
Next one, the war against Edge and Ray. This will be such a good match, man. Both in their primes. The speed of this match, the technical psychology of this match will be
Yeah, this would be a great match.
believable.
The Bar versus Edge, and I genuinely think this would be one of the greatest tag team matches ever. Like, especially Cesaro's style. Like, there's so many cool spots they could do with the Cesaro swing, Rey Mysterio with the 619, Sheamus with broke. I can think of so many like cool sequences in this
Yeah.
match. What a match it would be. Who has a stronger tag team there? I think I might give it to you, to be honest.
Mm.
Edge and Ray.
Yeah. I prefer Edge and Ray over the Bar, but again, I love the Bar, especially during that time on Raw where they won the titles. It's just the way they came together, right? Like no one expected them to be a tag team. They had a best of seven match. They used to hate each other, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Yeah, we probably work better as a tag team." And then they had a long tag team run. I can't remember how long it was, and when they actually broke up. But I think they might have only broke up because the other member went on the other roster, if I remember correctly. But again, they had one hell of a run together.
Yeah. Um, moving on then to the women's world title. This one is arguable. If I'm thinking of legacy, I think Trish Stratus. But you know what? I think as a wrestler, Becky Lynch. I can probably give you the edge here as well. I think.
Yeah, I mean, again, both of them great women's champions, and like what Trish has done for her gen, I think, is as impactful as what Becky's done for this gen, right? Like again, like you said, didn't Trish and Lita have one of the first women's Raw main events ever?
Yeah.
Again, that's a great pick, man. And then this
So
match,
it's
Tribal
two,
Chief,
two, two. It's 2-2 now, and I
yeah,
think the last two matches, yeah, are very 50-50 in my opinion. I think it's very hard to pick a winner.
Super Cena against Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. I mean,
Wow.
how will this match end? I know how it ended. Probably ended with the Usos interference.
Nah, but John Super Cena, bro, he would overcome the odds, bro. He took out the fucking Nexus by himself. Super Cena versus that has me salivating. I can't lie. Prime Cena versus Prime Roman Reigns, the best versions of each other at the top. It would be mental. It would be a mental title
Listen,
match.
we leave this up to the comments, anyway. We see
Yeah.
what the people want out of Cena and
I
Tribal
wonder
Chief.
who. I wonder. I wonder who Amana would pick.
He'll go Cena, I think. I still think he'll go Cena. Bro, he met Cena this week. He definitely going
Yeah.
Cena.
Yeah, but I can't lie though. Roman Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, he held the title for nearly 4 years, isn't it?
He won it in late 2020
20.
and he lost it in 2024. So
Yeah,
basically 3.5 years, yeah.
crazy. But that one's gonna. I think I don't know. I can't pick a winner there to be
Yeah,
honest.
same.
And then the main event, wow, just
Crazy.
oh, yeah, the star power on display is nuts. I don't know if you can put it back up, but
Yeah.
just look at the names on this list, bro. And this is like the prime versions of them as well. Prime, fucking hell. Triple H for me as a team captain. He's a guy who's resourceful. He's the game. He'll do anything to win. He'll use sneaky tactics. He'll have Ric Flair by his side the day he's playing the game, doing like antics on on his shtick. Obviously the sledgehammer, a sneaky sledgehammer, can pull things our way. And we're forgetting the one thing Triple H has. That is political power. That guy, so many times where he was supposed to put over the other guy, it would make more sense. He managed to get the decision his way. I mean, he buried Randy Orton to win the world title back. He buried Goldberg. Right, this is when Goldberg was red hot in the Elimination Chamber match. He somehow sneaked in the sledgehammer and beat him. So many guys he's buried. Chris Jericho. He buried Rob Van Dam. He buried Booker T. Oh, the Booker T one is that's the worst one. I remember was it at
Yeah.
Mania 19 when he pedigrees him and then he pins him like 20 seconds later.
Yeah. Too funny, man.
Yeah, I like bro. Reign of Terror, Triple H, prime political power, Triple H. It's hard to beat, It's hard to beat. I think I've picked a great captain. Yeah, the plot armor this guy's gonna have in the match will be nuts. And then you've picked Brock Lesnar. Here comes the pain, the face of SmackDown from 02 to 04. He was a great WWE champion. Just yeah, that's a great pick. Very good pick, Danny. And then
You got.
what I've got arguably the most influential figure of the Attitude Era and Monday Night Raw history, helped them win the Monday Night War. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like wow, great pick.
And then I took your goat. I was so surprised it wasn't one of your first two picks.
Bro,
Like genuinely.
I was trying to save it. I was thinking, I forgot because
And then I was,
Rock's been important to both Raw and
oh yeah,
SmackDown.
yeah. He's
Great.
definitely important to Raw as well. Yeah, yeah. That's why I was surprised he never took him. But again, like this guy literally has a whole brand named, after one of his catchphrases, SmackDown. So, I mean, he had to pick Rock, man. If he wasn't on either of our lists, bro, it would be blasphemous. So, I'm glad I took it.
Yeah, I mean, great pick. And can we bury one myth about The Rock as well? Like, everyone says he's this power hungry guy, but he's one of the most selfless workers there was during his original run. Like, if you deep it, the amount of people he put over, he never won a big feud. Can we just say he never won a big feud? Stone Cold would always beat him. Triple H would always beat him, and he used to put over guys like Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho. He's had great matches with Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam. Obviously, The Rock's one of the greatest sellers of all time as well. I think The Rock he doesn't really get as much props for his in-ring work and his ability to put people over. He's a very selfless guy. Even though he lost so many big matches, it never once hurt his stock. Which is crazy to think about. Loads of guys and you get sick and tired and when they keep losing and losing. The Rock is that one guy that transcends that. You love them even more.
Definitely, man. And
But
then next
yeah.
one.
And then obviously I've gone with Monday Night Rollins. In the modern era, he's been a big part of Monday Night Raw. It's a no-brainer, really. I think he's a great workhorse as well, a great person to have in this match. Wow, Seth Rollins. I think that was a good pick.
I think we've both picked someone of the modern era who's basically defined that brand. Like I picked Stars, you
Yeah,
picked Rollins. So yeah, I think that's good. But yeah, again, my third pick. I mean, I had to pick this guy, right? Like we talk about Rock basically defining SmackDown, but Taker basically defines SmackDown as much as Rock did, in my opinion, especially from like 2002 until probably 2019, until after that, he became part time. But again, he had some of the best feuds with guys like Batista, just a sensational wrestler. When he returned in 2005, when you're having the feud with Randy Orton, just I think we all agree he's one of the greatest of all time with probably the best character of all time. So yeah, I think again, like The Rock, if he wasn't on my list, it would be blasphemous.
yeah. Undertaker's a great pick. You know what? You could low-key have picked Taker for Raw as well. I remember his "I'll make you famous" gimmick. That was so good. That's
Yeah,
such a
yeah.
sick line. I'll make you be careful, boy. I'll make you famous. Yeah. But yeah, Undertaker. I'm jealous of that pick. I think he's a great perfect team captain as well. To be honest. But yeah. Then I've gone for his brother. I mean, this one might be a pick that people might be like, This might be like I could have picked Randy Orton. I could have picked CM Punk, but I needed someone, a freak of nature. I needed someone with a power, someone to match Brock basically, and not take his shit. And I've picked a great pick, the Big Red Machine. I think it's noted as well in history. I think Brock Lesnar and Kane had an arm wrestling match, and Kane won. So make of that what you will for who's stronger. But yeah, the Big Red Machine, one of the most underrated superstars of all time. I love him. I think he doesn't get the flowers that he deserves. And yeah, Kane, great pick, especially for Monday Night Raw. He was a big part of Raw, especially in that ruthless aggression.
Yeah.
Do you
And
know
then
what I mean?
I've gone with Kurt Angle. During the period of SmackDown 6 from 2002 to 2004, he had so many great matches, man. Like we spoke about, the Brock rivalry, that Brock match at Mania, which would have been probably one of the best matches of all time if it wasn't for that, shooting star press botch. But again, even if you ignore that botch, a phenomenal match. And then again, I think one of the greatest TV matches in history with that I Am a match against Brock Lesnar. He's a great rivalries with guys like Benoit, guys like Rey Mysterio. He's just, and again, in my opinion, him and the guy I picked after him are two of the best techno wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, and then on to my final pick. Then I think this is the heart of the team, the Iron Man of the team. He's a guy that you expect to go all the way to the very end. The show stealer, the showstopper, the heartbreak kid, Mr. WrestleMania, Mr. Monday Night Raw. Huge part of Raw's history. Shawn Michaels, great pick. Arguably the greatest wrestler of all time. He is, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like him seeing HBK mix it up with some of these guys, like Kurt, he's already mixed it up with them. But the Rock and Shawn Michaels, they've never actually had a match. That
Well,
could be a
yeah.
great thing. And obviously, there's a dream match right there as well with AJ Styles as well. Like, yeah,
There's a lot of dream matches on both sides, to be honest, like HBK and Styles, which we haven't seen. And like you said, The Rock v HBK, Seth
Rock
v
and
Kurt Angle, I
Austin.
think is a great match. Yeah, man, there's some for matches on both sides. But yeah, my final pick, This was more of a personal one. I think I could have easily gone with Eddie Guerrero, and no one would like have batted an eye. But I had to go with AJ Styles. Like again, I think the MVP of SmackDown for a good 3-4 years. Great champion. I think his first reign was great for the few months he held it, and then after he beat Jinder, I thought that was a really fun reign. Until he lost it to heel Daniel Bryan. But yeah, man, this is more of a personal favorite because I think he's one of the best wrestlers of all time. And that period of SmackDown, if you had to really define it with one wrestler, like you have with your, Seth pick on Raw, I think he has to be AJ Styles.
Yeah, and you know what else I love about both these teams? A lot of these guys have storied history with each other. Like if you look at Shawn Michaels,
Oh
he
yeah,
has a lot of history with Kurt Angle and Undertaker. And then if you look at Kane, he's got history with Undertaker. Um, if you look at Seth Rollins, he's got history with
Triple
Brock.
H, Seth,
Yeah,
yeah.
on your team, he's got history with Brock and AJ Styles. And then obviously Stone Cold, Brock Lesnar, that's another dream match, dream scenario we can see. And then obviously one of the greatest rivalries of all time, arguably the greatest, Stone Cold and The Rock.
They both
Going,
set up because well.
yeah,
That's
they
funny.
have to be. It's kind of
Yeah,
good that they weren't on the same team, to be honest, because
yeah.
you have to have them on opposite teams, don't you? And obviously Triple H has got history with all of them apart from AJ Styles, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually hilarious, man. But yeah, those are some strong dream ones. Imagine they actually had a 5-on-5 match. That would be unreal, man.
I'm pretty proud of this card, to be honest. I think we've constructed quite a good
Oh yeah.
ultimate Survivor Series fantasy Raw versus SmackDown themed card. But yeah, what do you think, Danny?
Yeah, I think especially the men's world title match and the men's 5-on-5. Yeah, man, about fun doing them. And again, the tag team match I think will be a great match. The US title, I kind of regret not picking Eddie Guerrero. I got swerved by you that could have picked him in a 5-5, but I just had to go with AJ Styles there. So, and it is what it is. Again, I'm fine with my Becky Lynch pick. I think she's amazing. And again, I think the women's 5-on-5 is are really strong with some of the best wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, the women's one's really strong as well, to be
Yeah.
honest. They're all of them are great matches. I'll be real. I'm kind of proud of the card we've. There's some notable omissions. Don't get me wrong. Guys like Batista, guys like Eddie Guerrero, guys like Randy Orton, CM
Yeah.
Punk, Jeff Hardy. But you know what it is? There's only enough for 6 matches. If you don't
It
make
just
it,
shows it just shows how deep the brands have had so many great
and you know
superstars.
what? There's probably loads more that we can't really think of. Like there's loads of underrated ones as well, like guys like Booker T.
Oh yeah.
Who else have I got here? Mick Foley, Braun Strowman,
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan. Daniel Bryan. You know what? Low key, I could have gone Kane and Daniel Bryan for my tag team, but
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
it is what it is. I mean, more recent guys, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens. Yeah, man. Even Chris Benoit could have made it as well on both brands, to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man, strong teams.
Very strong teams. But hey, it is what it is. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. We've had fun creating
But
this.
yeah.
Let us know. Well, nobody really fucking comments, but it would be nice if you guys could comment on this one. Yeah, who do you think's built the best team? Based on arguments as well, not just who you like. I think you should do it based on who you think's made the best argument for their team. Yeah, that's been Mission Podcast, the Survivor Series Dream Card, Raw versus SmackDown. See you guys for the next one.